What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Out of the Basement. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
Steven.
Howdy.
And Connor.
How do you do?
And like we said, if you haven't watched our video about The Mandalorian, check it out right up there. We kind of give our thoughts about Disney Plus, The Mandalorian, and Star Wars in general. But in this video, because we didn't want to just make one epic long video,
We're going to talk about how you taste blended Scotch whiskey.
yes. So we're going to be talking about the D23 footage for Rise of Skywalker. Of course, there's not really much to go on, and obviously the big thing is Dark Rey, which will probably be
It's just a little sizzle reel.
Yeah, it's a little sizzle. Most of the little footage is...
It's living in the past.
They said let the past die, and then they said, wait a minute. Okay, maybe we didn't actually mean that.
Reconstruct the lightsaber. Put Kylo Ren's helmet back together.
Let's bring the not-so-distant past back.
Because the present
Which I'm down
sucks.
Yeah, I'm fine with them bringing back Kylo's mask. I'm fine with the lightsaber coming back.
Save us, JJ. Save us.
So, Connor, take us away. You got the notes there.
Okay, so,
Quit looking at your phone.
well, the big thing, I mean, we got this with the, with the teaser trailer before, Return of the Emperor. Did any of you guys see that coming? Like, way
No.
back?
Now that...
Do you think that seed was planted, like, in any way?
No.
No. I genuinely think this is their attempt to just bring, Last Jedi had some really negative feedback. We're gonna,
As far
do
as
something new and crazy.
as far as I know, everybody knows. Obviously, George Lucas was like, "Here's my ideas," and Disney's like, "Great, we'll put those in the refrigerator."
They were like, awesome, George, and they're putting them in a paper shredder.
You want to explore the cells inside the midichlorians?
Yeah.
That was a thing.
But as far as I know, other than that, they just started making the trilogy without having a timeline for everything. As far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But I don't think they've ever said that they knew what they were doing from episode 1 to 3. So I feel like...
Well, yeah, because wasn't it revealed that The Last Jedi was being written before The Force Awakens was even actually finished or, completed as a movie?
yes, there's something like that. It's.
I never heard that.
I watched the documentary about...
They had to go in and digitally remove, because they had originally where Luke was gonna be lifting rocks and stuff with the Force at the end, and they're like, oh, he's cut himself off from the Force, and they had to go back and take that out. Fun fact.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, and that explains why he's just randomly in his Jedi garb, and then he's like, psych, I just decided to wear this today. It's Tuesday.
Laundry day.
Yeah, exactly.
This old robe? I don't know. I just picked it out of the closet.
But yeah, as far as I know, they didn't plan anything, so they thought they clearly. Please go watch the Last Jedi documentary if you haven't. They clearly thought Rian Johnson was a genius, and that the Last Jedi was
Looper
the greatest.
is a really good movie. His other movie
Fair
is
enough.
a fantastic film. So I could see maybe why they would think that.
Sure, fair enough. But they also thought that The Last Jedi was going to be a smash hit, and they thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they were so confident in it, and then... And now they're just like, oh,
And
Jesus Christ.
to be fair, the original trilogy was written as they went along
True.
as well.
But they tried to recreate that magic, and
Yeah.
that's something you just can't do. Especially, I mean, you can't do that with anything, but with Star Wars, you need a plan. So it makes sense. And
Do I look like a man with a plan?
And so there's, what's it called? What's that silly little thing? Continuity.
George didn't care about continuity either.
I do think
That's true.
I do think the Rise
At
of
one
Skywalker
time, maybe.
is going to be the attempt to undo everything the Last Jedi did. I mean, they show it literally.
No one's ever really gone?
I think it's the equivalent of this will begin to make things right. Kind of taking a jab at the prequels.
Yeah.
I think all these visuals in the new trailers, like we just said, putting Rey's put that lightsaber back together. Put the mask back.
Yep.
Put it back!
We also see in the footage plenty of classic... Obviously, we've seen plenty of, Rebel Alliance vehicles like X-Wings and stuff. We got more classic looks at that. And then we also got some Imperial Star Destroyers.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I've just got some interesting questions that are because there are a lot of people speculating, oh, does this mean we're going to see, like, Empire versus First Order versus Resistance, or, like...
Versus Alien.
Versus Alien. Versus
Hey, those
Jason.
are owned by Disney now.
But, I mean, then, like...
The Alien Queen is a Disney princess.
Like, at the end of The Last Jedi, right, they, like, tap into, like, rebellion vehicles and, like, use those old resources. What if that's just, like, both sides building up their own armories by tapping into those old...
That could be. And I'd be down for that. I mean, I personally am not super offended by the First Order. Obviously, it's extremely derivative and a much more cartoony version of the Empire. But as far as designs go, I think their designs, the vehicle designs, the ship designs, stormtroopers, whatever, I think it's all pretty good. Even though, again, it's super derivative. But so I wouldn't be against them just going complete old school either, though.
I'm very interested too in because we've got we're gonna get like a different First Order, like high ranking commander. He's gonna be like a little older. Richard E. Grant. No, just Richard Grant. Wait. But I mean, like, because that's the big thing, right? They're always, it's like a lot of younger people, and they're always like yelling. They're just like not menacing the way the Empire always was. There's like a calm, decisive manner that the Empire had that the First Order just never. It's never been presented to us that way.
Yeah.
But I think that's okay, because you gotta differentiate it in some ways. And clearly the First Order are just like fanboys of the Empire, less polished, and obviously quite younger, apparently. And, young whippersnappers are going to do young whippersnapper things and not be as cool and calm as, your Grand Moff Tarkins.
Right. I do think the First Order, like you said earlier, it's just a little bit more cartoonish version of the Empire. Duckbill stormtroopers.
Yeah.
They kind of just look like ducks.
To be fair, that opening Poe Dameron sequence in The Last Jedi, the Resistance is kind of a more cartoony version of the Rebellion.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, it's like they...
But we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, The Last Jedi was just... I don't mean to get into The Last Jedi. I don't mean to get into it, but...
We're going to wrap it up real quick.
It is a Star Wars movie that is heavy on, like, that sort of humor. Like, not even The Force Awakens had that level of humor that, in my opinion, you would find in, like, a Marvel movie or something like that. Like, especially the whole banter between Poe and Hux. Never forget watching that in the movie and just being like, oh, God, here we go.
Really set the
making
tone
Yo
for the
Mama
rest of it.
jokes in a Star Wars movie? Like, come on. But anyway, yeah.
I think, though, the thing that bums me out a little bit, I'm just going to say this right now, it's like, because there was no time jump between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, and now we're getting like a 5-year time jump, right, for this one. And it feels like I'm really concerned that this trilogy won't feel like it's earned any conclusion.
Yeah.
And I feel like that 5-year time jump there, like, you're kind of cutting past all of the things that could make it feel earned. You know what I mean? It's like the first two are so close together, and then like
nothing of significance really happens in The Last Jedi. The Resistance is in the same state as it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Which is low, scattered, kind of.
They're down to nothing. Like, they really made you think.
Which,
like
maybe that's, like, a big reason why, is because there is literally, like, no resistance at the end of The Last Jedi. So maybe that's why there's, like, a 5-year... Like, we gotta get some more people involved here.
They didn't want to take the Game of Thrones route and just have the Resistance respawn in the next episode.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's what it feels like. That's what it kind of feels like.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, because the original Star Wars trilogy and even the prequels obviously had time jumps between all of the movies. And it all felt fine. It didn't feel jarring. It felt earned. Everything was, like, laid out for you.
Yeah.
So for it to go, Force Awakens straight into The Last Jedi and then 5 years, it's kind of awkward.
And then there's all this curveball stuff. You have the original Imperial Star Destroyers. You have Palpatine. It's like,
C-3PO has
what's
red
going
eyes.
on?
Well, okay, let's talk about that then. C-3PO with red eyes. I don't know.
He's possessed by the Emperor,
Yeah.
and that's how he comes back.
I think
Top
What
10
the
things
hell?
you missed.
I
They go
don't mean
full
this
Age
as
of
a
Ultron.
negative.
Yeah.
I don't mean this as a negative, but what the hell is going on?
well,
like,
Talking
what is
about with
going
Star
on?
Wars speculation channels on YouTube.
no,
like-
I think he's just talking about like what the hell's going on in Episode 9.
Yeah, like
Oh,
what
okay.
the-
Well-
it's such a wild, like, out of all the Star Wars movies.
Let me explain the 3PO thing real quick. They want you to buy another 3PO figure.
I like that explanation. I like
They
it.
made us do it with Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Why do you have a red arm? I don't know.
He just gets a new red
Read the comic book. Buy something else.
item.
Buy something else. You want to know why C-3PO has red eyes? Buy the comic book.
Yeah.
In stores after the
Yeah, maybe
Rise of Skywalker.
Hopefully there'll be comic books or something that'll fill in that 5-year gap. I'm sure there will be.
Definitely.
But anyways, back to what the hell's going on. So C-3PO with red eyes just for a new figure, but I hope that'll be fun. I hope that'll be kind of because C-3PO has always been a very good comic relief, even in the prequels. So with the Emperor coming back and the Imperial Star Destroyers, and go back and watch the trailer again because it's quick, but there's a lot of them, a ton of them, in like perfect sequential order, and there's like thunder and stuff around them. I'm going to say it right now. Mike Stoklasa of Red Letter Media called it. They're doing time travel.
I was gonna say Vision, maybe. Like,
Okay, it could be a Vision, but clearly the Emperor's not a Vision. Maybe.
I mean, why did they use the Hot Toys for the poster?
That
You see
poster
that?
looks terrible.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the poster for a minute. Looks like a fan
Like,
animated
is it
film.
true that they really took the Hot Toys image? Like, they didn't want to actually put Ian McDermott's face on it?
I've read that, but I honestly I can't tell. Like it on one hand, yeah, it does look like the hot toy, but then on the other hand, it just looks like a picture of the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. To me, I didn't look into it. I just saw those headlines and I was like, okay, I really don't care.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe they use the techniques that were introduced in The Last Jedi, where like Kylo and Rey have some sort of communication with each other without actually being by each other. Maybe that sort of happens with the Emperor and Kylo, or the Emperor and Rey. Even though, I mean, obviously, Dark Rey is a vision, just like when Luke sees himself in Vader's mask. 100%. Guaranteed, calling it now. They would not,
Because why else would they put it in
they
there?
would
yeah,
not
yeah.
spoil that in a trailer. That would be the
a
stupidest
fake
thing on planet Earth, but people thinking she's a clone, people thinking she's this or that, I honestly just think she's just a vision like Luke had on Dagobah. The foldable lightsaber is stupid.
It's a really cheesy shot.
I thought the same exact thing with Kylo's original shot in the Force Awakens trailer where he's.
But what
And that
is
was
That's
mean.
cool.
It's
Okay.
cool now, but when I first saw it, I wasn't sold.
But what
I
is
didn't like it.
what is the practicality of having the lightsaber folded up?
That.
Obviously. But it's such
Well,
a
maybe it has a because at first you thought Kylo Ren had cross guards, but then you learned it's a cracked kyber crystal and it needs to be vented because it's too powerful. Because like, it's not practical as a cross guard. Like if you crossed it, you would destroy that piece of the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's counterintuitive. So maybe it's like there's
But
some
it is
explanation.
practical for fucking up Finn's shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean that is true, but as a cross guard of what it's supposed to be used for, not practical. And we were talking about this last night in the trailer. If you look closely and if you listen closely, it does the same flickery like unfinished lightsaber build effect. Like it's not like a solid red lightsaber. It makes the same sound as Kylo's, and then it also has like the wavy, like an unstable or cracked kyber crystal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has any significance, but why wouldn't they just make it like a regular red lightsaber instead of the crack?
Maybe she was a Knight of Ren.
Or like it's theorized that maybe she destroys Kylo Ren's lightsaber and uses his kyber crystal and make her own.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
But anyways, the foldable lightsaber, so gimmicky.
It's for easy storage.
It'd be cool if it was just double bladed.
Yeah.
Like regular double bladed. Like why not?
Are you tired of that bulky double-bladed lightsaber?
Hi, I'm Darth
the
Maul,
switchblade.
owner of Maul Sabers, located in the Tatooine shopping mall.
But I mean, okay. Well, we didn't get much new footage here. We got like some cool shots of, you know,
Yeah,
I'm glad we didn't get
majestic
that much.
fucking shots of ships.
true.
I thought the shots of the battle sequence between Rey and Kylo was pretty fucking cool.
On the Death
Yeah.
Star.
I'm,
It was
I'm-
like-
I'm
yeah.
about
It
it.
was like the complete opposite of Obi-Wan and Anakin's showdown.
Oh my god.
What could it mean?
It's like poetry, rhymes.
It all comes back together.
It's a ring.
It's a circle. Real quick, they do show like footage of all the movies.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
been like pounded. It hasn't really been pounded, but it's been said multiple times that like this is the culmination
Yeah.
of the entire franchise. And then in this little footage, they show some like prequel clips, some original trilogy clips. So I'm really curious as to see how this is the culmination of all 9 movies now.
Because Rey has to be a Skywalker. She has to be.
Because
they can't
they
go
call
with
it the
she's a nobody.
Skywalker saga,
Yes.
and then Luke dies.
She's
in the
clearly
Last Jedi.
been the main character.
No one's ever really gone.
She's clearly the main character, so you know Rian Johnson had to subvert expectations and say you're nobody.
This,
They're gonna pull. They're
And
gonna
this
pull
one,
an
Kylo
audible.
Ren's gonna be like, yeah, I was just kidding.
Yeah,
I think though, here's the thing. This is the Hail Mary pass. You know, it's they keep pushing that whole the end of the saga thing. I'm gonna be that guy for a second. We got an end of the saga. It's called Return of the Jedi. And this is, it's like really, they're like trying to connect this back to all those other movies, but like the seeds of that were not sown in episode 7 or 8.
Right.
It's like, so this like
It
it's
kind of
this-
seems random.
it's a weird stitch up of like, okay, bring back the Emperor, bring back like, yeah, I don't quite know how to like wrap my head around the idea of this being like the climactic ending.
I would
It
agree
doesn't
with
feel
that.
earned.
I feel like episode 7 did a good job of setting up this mysterious new saga, this
Yeah.
mysterious new world that we don't know much about, and then the Last Jedi.
And then on an amazing
amazing
cliffhanger.
note. Yeah, and then Last Jedi was just like,
I'm
gonna then- throw
the lightsaber for a joke.
and then now
Laser
it's just
swords.
like now it's the Hail Mary.
I mean, imagine going from Star Wars to Return of the Jedi. Just no Empire. That's kind of how I feel about this.
Yeah, I could see it. I can definitely see where you're coming from, because like I think we said that in the Mandalorian video that nothing of consequence actually happens in The Last Jedi.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like everyone is at the same exact position they were at the beginning of the movie. Like nothing changes for anyone. So
It just
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a continuation of the story.
it's
There's a lot of like stuff just out of left field, just coming at you. Like I would never, we said this earlier, but I would never have guessed in a million years that you would have heard the Emperor's laugh at the end
Yeah.
of that first trailer. That's like a crazy wild card that I never thought would happen. And I'm just like, what are they going to do with that?
I'm very
super curious.
I think I know the answer to this, but it's like, okay, if they hadn't killed off Snoke in, 2 seconds in The Last Jedi, I don't think Ian McDiarmid would be back as the Emperor. You know?
Yep,
Because there always has to be an old bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
that is true. Episode 9 in general feels very reactionary. It's very. That's the feeling I'm getting right now. Is that they were just like, oh God, we made a horrible mistake. Pivot. Let's try and end on a bang.
But at the same time, in JJ, we trust.
That is true. We still.
I do believe J.J. Abrams will save us.
This movie could be fucking awesome, and I sound like I'm shitting on it. Believe me, I'm fucking hyped for this movie to come out.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's just confusion.
Yeah, I'm just really like it's we won't know it until about 6 months after we've seen the movie.
Seen it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
We've stewed on it. We've praised it or hated it at first, and then completely changed our opinions.
I'm not even going to pretend that Song and Dance isn't on the way.
Yeah, 100%. So, final thoughts on the new footage. Does anyone have anything else they would like to discuss?
I'm gonna go ahead with the time travel thing. I think I'm gonna put my money on that.
Like they just did that with Endgame. Like Disney, is that their new fetish?
Well, it wouldn't have been if The Last Jedi would have, you know.
I disagree like full-heartedly with the time travel theory. I think it's going to be something like totally...
I think it's just visions. I think all the weird imagery in the new footage is just visions. I think the Imperial Star Destroyer, probably just a vision of like, this is what my empire used to be. Or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be
Remember Star Wars?
I feel like it's going to be the Emperor somehow gets in contact with Rey and is kind of coaxing her and is like, yeah, come to the dark side. And like shows her the might. Maybe that's when she sees Dark Rey, like, this is what you could be. And like shows her a vision of that. I mean, that could be another possible scenario.
She looks like possessed.
Yeah,
she's like staring off. It's a really kind of creepy
She's
shot.
the witch from Troll 2.
Yeah, it's a creepy shot.
And
with
she's
a
like
lightsaber.
staring. Like,
she looks like
forced popcorn.
She looks like she has makeup on to make like her jawline like really sharp and like she looks like emaciated. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Dehydrated.
Yeah. So like she looks bony. She looks like a dark side
electrolytes.
user. Like, as it's not really explored a lot in the movies, but obviously in the extended universe, like using dark side powers takes a toll on you.
Like physically, the side effect.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like why Rey kind of looks like very skinny, very like skeletal, is because it's like a vision of her and like what she would look like if she did start using some dark side powers.
But she was already tempted by the dark side in Last Jedi.
Yeah, because in Last Jedi, Luke says like, you went straight to the dark and you didn't even try to stop yourself. So
Yeah,
maybe that's a little bit of foreshadowing.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
That she wasn't a nobody and she was a dark side user.
Let's
before.
hope they don't Daenerys Targaryen us.
Oh God.
They're like, oh shit. Disney execs in like June or July.
Yeah, Disney gives in to all the 50-year-old like men say, "Yeah, Mary Sue." Yeah.
She dies in the first scene.
Finn was the Jedi the whole time.
Luke Skywalker plays around with a ball for a little bit, destroys the Death Star. Not a Mary Sue.
Nope. Shut up. But yeah, that is pretty much our thoughts on the D23 footage. Not a whole lot to go on, but most of this stuff is just going to be visions, we all think. I mean, except for Steven, who's of the firm belief time travel is going to be a thing. But I really don't think so. Granted, this movie is being written by the guy who wrote Batman vs. Superman and Justice League.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Ooh! But we'll see. We'll see. In JJ, we trust.
Yeah.
We are fans.
That's basically my final thought. I'm very confused about where it's going, but I think
Look,
JJ...
the franchise has us by the balls, and they know it. Our asses are going to be in those seats.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anything we say right now...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, why are you even watching this video?
What are you, stupid?
Of course we're going to see it. It's fucking Star Wars. At the end of the day, it's Star Wars. It's hard not to get at least a little excited no matter what. No matter if we are confused about what it is, or if we think it looks bad, or if we think it's going to be dumb. I feel like at the end of the day, we're all still excited because it is Star Wars. It is technically, no matter what you think, Connor, now it is unfortunately technically the end of the saga.
Is it though?
That's why I say technically. Because obviously we're gonna, wraps that bow up.
Yo,
That's a nice bow.
Who's hyped for that Lego Star Wars game with all 6 movies in it?
You mean with all 9 movies?
9.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said 9 movies in it.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. But anyways, what do you guys think of the Disney D23 footage? Let us know in the comments down below. Let's talk Star Wars. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Share this video with your friends. Ring that bell for notifications. Of course, we mostly talk about Star Wars, action figures, Blu-rays.
We do movie reviews.
We do movie reviews. Do. Of course, I'm Nate. I'm joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
Steven. And
Take care.
Connor.
No one's ever really gone.
And we will see you guys next time on Out of the Basement.